What you know about cancer?
So a lot of people always ask like how you came up with the cowboy comb, and honestly, me and Chad just kind of created it out of thin air, really. But the other thing is like, why do you have a mustache? Like it's cool now. It's funny. You look like a creep or a firefighter or a porn star or something. But like the truth is my friends have always grown mustaches, in honor of something, or my good friend Brad was in the Marines and he was growing a mustache to come home and like show us he had this mustache. And so we actually back in April planned like a man mission out to Vegas because he moved there in the last year.
One of my best friends, Brad Edison, was in Vegas and we had this man trip planned out.
I wanted to do it up, so like I grew this like Fu Manchu kind of deal. I dyed it like red brown, like some nasty old color,
Where we wanted to go there and shoot guns, drink, and do what boys do.
And about halfway through the trip, like Chad kind of got a little quiet, which is really odd for Chad. Just kind of solemn and not really involving himself in the activities.
We're actually literally out on the firing range in the desert, blasting guns. My sister called me, and she had told me that my dad had less than a week to live, and I needed to come home as soon as possible.
And then on the way home, he tells us he got a call from his sister like halfway through the trip, and he was going to have to go back to Wisconsin because his dad wasn't going to make it anymore.
I got on a plane as soon as I could the next day and flew home for my dad, and he had, thankfully I got there, when I did, because I don't know what would have happened if I wasn't home before he died. But luckily enough, I got home, and all my family was there with him, and he was on his deathbed, and I got to hold his hand as he passed, and that for me was huge. But it was probably the most defining moment in my life was to be there and see my father leave from this earth. And it was, all due to cancer.
My great-grandfather, my grandfather, and my Uncle Ricky on my mother's side have all passed away from cancer.
Chad didn't know really when he was going to come home, so I was like, I'm going to keep this mustache until you get home, kind of, pay that homage.
This Movember cause is one of the biggest things since we've created Cowboy Comb, was always searching for that one way to give back and to give something to a bigger cause. Since I was a little boy, he had a mustache. I've never seen my father without one, except for seeing like high school pictures. I think he had his mustache since the time he was 18 until the day he died. He even had it through chemo. I mean, he got bald everywhere else, but his mustache stayed there.